Well, hello there, Aries. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So, Happy New Year. I hope your year is off to a great start. Today, we're going to be doing a reading for the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March. I do have the 2024 readings up, so if you haven't seen that, I'll have that linked at the end of this video so you can go see that. But in this one, we'll take a look at each of the 3 months, the energy for that month, any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit. So let's get into it. Let's see what we have here for you, Aries. Grounding. Go deep. Explore your roots. And the number 42, Otter Spirit, you are never alone. I feel like some of you, I'm trying to remember if this came up in your last reading. Some of you may just feel like you're alone. You know, she's sitting by the tree looking out. There's nobody around, right? And sometimes when we're in this moment of time when we feel really alone, it is about also recognizing that we are never alone. We have our guides, we have angels, divine, we have the spirit realm, right, to call on, to ask for help. But we also have our inner child, our inner self. Sometimes when we're put into this position, it's to become more grounded in who we are, because there is an energy here of realigning to your own inner self before you start again. It's almost like you've finished a cycle and you're sitting there waiting for the new cycle to begin. But before it begins, it's about taking a moment to reflect on where you've been and where you want to go. And I'm not saying you spend a lot of time reflecting. We tend to do a lot of that, right? But it's kind of like, what wisdom have I gained? And what would I like to experience as I move forward? Not just maybe in this year, but also in the years to come, because Capricorn is, Pluto's moving is still in Capricorn. It's been there since 2008, and it moves into Aquarius January 21st. And then it'll be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. It's a 20-year transit. It's kind of like, what have you learned? Kind of contemplating. What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about why you are here? What have you learned about the collective and how you fit into it, right? Since 2008, how have you transformed? Pluto is all about transformation. And taking that information and then also asking yourself, what have I not yet experienced that I would like to experience? I feel like a lot of you are ascending to a much higher level. But before we can graduate, I always go back to school because I was a school teacher. Before we graduate from one grade to the next, right, we have to sometimes take that final exam, or we have to reflect on what we learned that year, right? Some of it is trivial. Some of it is nice to know, but not necessary, okay? And I feel like you're embarking on a new chapter in your life. But before you go forward, it's about getting really grounded in what it is that you want. Because the fears around the unfamiliar, especially for you, Aries, the fear of the unfamiliar that is ahead, I feel like your life is changing dramatically. And because of that, we sometimes can get fearful because we just don't know it. It's unfamiliar. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? It's just unfamiliar. So when we're truly grounded in our core values, in what we stand for, in what we want, in our healthy boundaries, we know ourselves very well. We don't have to fear the unfamiliar because we don't have to worry about just trying to fit into the new. We can embrace the energy of the new, but we don't have to worry about changing to fit in. right? Because I feel like you've done a lot of work in order to get to the point where you feel confident in who you are and what you stand for and what you would like to experience. But sometimes when we're thrown into the new, those fears, those triggers of the old, or reverting back to patterns or behaviors or mindsets that we had in the past can get us all off balance. I have the Aries moon, and I will have to say, with the new year, you start new routines or whatever. And I started a new routine for myself, and I was going fine the first 6 days. And then I had to, my day just had something new that came onto it. That happens a lot, right? And I had to change my day. In the middle of the day, my day changed. And I immediately, okay, those triggers of the old things, the old ways I would work through a situation like that came up. Instead of automatically going to the new habit that I was trying, I reverted to the old. And I caught myself and I said, well, wait a minute. And, part of me was like, yeah, but it's easier. If I just do it this way, it'll be easier and I'll get it done. And then I'll get back on track. It's about, no, wait a minute. We're trying to ingrain a new mindset. We're trying to ingrain a new habit. We're trying to ingrain a new belief. And when we do that, it is unfamiliar. And sometimes when we get fearful of, can I get this done? Or am I enough? Or will people like me? Or whatever the situation is, then we revert back to our old habits or mindset, because it is about letting go. It is about letting go of that so that you can step into what it is that you truly want for yourself. And you're going to do that. I mean, you truly are. But the thing is that I think the guidance here is getting really clear with yourself of who you are. It's kind of like, I always feel like the first week or two of January, everybody's kind of tired from the holidays. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, the weather can be kind of dreary. And I think everybody's kind of deflated because, the holidays are over and we're back to reality. And so it's sometimes easy because things are quiet. Just like for me, things were quiet. And because things were quiet, I could practice my new routines, right? And my new habits. I had the time and life was very quiet, right? And then all of a sudden something happened and life wasn't quite so quiet. And I wanted to quickly revert back to my old ways. And I feel like that's what this is. Like, life is going to change very quickly in a good way. But you want those new mindsets, those new beliefs, those new habits, routines, new way of thinking, right? To carry you forward. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's talk about these cards, because here we have the Death card. Okay. This is Pluto. Scorpio. This is Scorpio card, and it's ruled by Pluto. Once again, Pluto has been in Capricorn for 15 years, since 2008. And Capricorn is all about competition, about following the rules, about success, material things, right? And we are getting ready to go into, Pluto is getting ready to transit into Aquarius, which is all about being not competing against each other, but how can we help each other, right? It's more expansive. It's more about the greater good, where Capricorn was more about sitting down and making as many pentacles as we could. Okay. And that's just a generalization. That's really kind of the shadow side. Okay. Because that's what Pluto does. It shines light on our shadow side. So in this energy, especially at the beginning of the year, it's about recognizing how you have transformed, taking stock, sitting down and asking yourself, what have I learned about myself since 2008? How have I transformed? And wonderful, here I am. This is where I am, taking an assessment of where you are, but then also not regurgitating the past, but also kind of like foreseeing, being in that Aquarius dreamy energy of what can I imagine as I move forward into this much brighter energy of Aquarius, right? What expansion would I like to bring into my life? What experiences? What types of relationships? What types of traveling have I not yet done that I would like to do? And understanding that in order to go from that energy of working really hard or focusing on career or the material world, and then going into this energy of truly caring about each other is a huge transformation. We can't do that overnight. It's a huge mindset, right? So it's kind of like, okay, before we go into this new energy, what have I learned about myself? How would I like to take the knowledge of what I have learned since 2008 or even prior to that and apply it to helping the greater good? Because then you have the Strength card, and 2024 is the 8 energy, okay? And that's the Strength card. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And 8 is all about having this balance between our divine masculine and our divine feminine. Capricorn is very much divine masculine. We've been in this extreme divine masculine energy since 2008. It's about softening. It's not about eliminating the divine masculine. It's about softening. So where in your own energy can you bring more balance instead of trying to go, go, go all the time, which is the divine masculine, working on the pentacles, trying to create a material world, right? Or being active all the time. Where can you allow yourself to step more into a divine feminine energy of a being, of just sitting, of being with yourself, of having a relationship with yourself, of having deeper emotional relationships with other people? The divine masculine doesn't really have time for relationships because he's too busy out there working on the pentacles and telling people what to do, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But we do also have to balance it with the divine feminine and also have relationships. So you could be at a point in your life where you're like, okay, I got this great career, but I don't have any relationships, right? Or you could be feeling like you've done a lot for other people, but you haven't allowed yourself to do for yourself. So you could have been following those Capricorn rules and creating a lot of good for other people to make their lives happier. But you haven't allowed yourself to be with yourself, to have a relationship with yourself, to nurture yourself by doing activities or creative activities, right? Taking good care of yourself, really stepping into your divine feminine energy. You're deciding to go a different way, right? You're deciding it's time to make a change in my life. I don't want to go the next 20 years doing the same thing. I want to make a change in my life. And I feel as if for some of you, you have professional assistants and you have the star. I think for some of you, you may have gone through something really traumatic, okay, since 2008. So it could be a divorce, it could be a business that has failed, it could be a loved one that has passed, something that really rocked your world. Okay. And perhaps at a time when you thought you were grounded, but when that situation happened, you realized that you weren't truly grounded. You kind of like were caught off guard, maybe even a little bit caught off guard. And now you're healing that energy. You're seeing the benefit of that situation. Because I feel like you're actually becoming the healer. Here's the Aquarius energy. And this occurs in January, the Pluto moving into Aquarius. And you're becoming kind of like a healer for other people. You're understanding that maybe since 2008, things have occurred on your path that had you have to kind of like be put in a position to really and truly build your financial stability or put your world back together, right? And now you've done that But that doesn't necessarily bring us a sense of fulfillment. Now I think you want to take what you have learned through going through some difficult experience. Yeah, I think you're looking clearly at what you're, the Queen of Swords, okay? Aquarius energy again. Looking clearly at what has caused you sadness, feelings of unworthiness, mind games that people may have played, the regrets that you have about where you put your time and energy. But it's not about sitting and regretting. It's kind of like, what have I learned? And now how can I turn and use what I've learned to help other people? For some of you, it could be that, you found yourself in financial instability, okay, for one reason or another, and it doesn't even matter why. And you had to build back up your stability after some type of tower moment. Your business failed, you got a divorce, your identity was stolen. I don't know where that's coming from, but anyway, something happened, right? And you had to heal it. You had to fix it. You had to spend time building up again. And now I feel like you kind of learned by having to rebuild a part of your life, okay? Because you've had to rebuild that, now you're understanding you can help other people that are going through that same situation. You're finding purpose out of something that was painful. So in January, I think you're having a little bit of an epiphany about where you have unfortunately had to spend time and energy rebuilding something, planting seeds to rebuild after some difficult situation. And how can it's almost like you're also understanding, how can I help other people? Because you're stepping into your purpose here in February. You have the vast universe. This is your spiritual path, sharing your love, your light out into the world. It could be that even up until this point, you have been helping a small group of people, or you have been concentrating on helping your family and friends. And all of a sudden, like maybe you're a tarot reader and you've been doing readings for a small group of people. And now you're kind of like, wait a minute, I have a real gift. It's time to share it with more people. Allow myself to spread my wings. Right? It may be a little bit scary because I'm putting myself out there in a new way. So before I go, right, on that journey, it's about, okay, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? Who do I want to help? How can I serve other people? And sitting there. And the only way we can get those answers is when we allow ourselves to stop and sit and be with ourselves. And clear out our mind and listen to the guidance that we all can tap into using our divine feminine intuitive energy. Yes. Yeah, because I feel like you're kind of confused. It's really interesting. Leo had somewhat of a similar message, but it really is about, I feel like you're confused about something that was heartbreaking. You don't understand, why did that have to happen, right? Say you had a loved one that passed away suddenly, or you lost your job out of the blue. You found out something very, very hurtful that your spouse or your partner did. It brought down your whole world, right? And it's kind of like, I don't understand, why did that have to happen? It's almost like you've been stewing a little bit about why did that have to happen. But sometimes when we have that energy, we also just go so that we don't have to sit there and think about it. Well, that's on them. Okay, well, I just got to move forward or whatever. But now you're seeing, now wait a minute, there's another way to approach this, right? There's another way to approach this out of the energy of love. It could be that you may have dismissed some people from your life because of something that happened. And if it's abusive, this doesn't apply, right? But now all of a sudden you're understanding maybe there could have been a different way to do that. Part of the wisdom that I think you're gaining is, how can we heal connections? How can we heal situations, heal ourselves by, okay, it's okay, what they're saying is you could have just forced yourself to put one foot in front of the other, right? And that was your way of starting to heal. But now what you're understanding is that when you embraced, okay, when you embraced the scared divine masculine within you, with the energy of the divine feminine, you nurtured yourself, you nurtured that fear, you allowed yourself to look the fear in the eye and say, it's okay. It's okay. It's almost like the fear melts away, right? But I feel like that's what you're doing. You could be helping people to overcome their fears of because of a situation that they're in, or overcome their grief, or overcome their energy of pain. Or you could help people that are fearful of making changes in their life that will make their lives improve dramatically because of fear, right? A fear of the unknown, a fear of flying. Like you could become someone, I don't like to fly, so I would take your course that helps people to enjoy flying so that they can expand. The Aquarian energy is all about expansion, teaching, traveling, learning more about other people and cultures, how we are all connected instead of that Capricorn energy is one against the other. This is a beautiful energy because I feel as if what you're doing in February, in January, you're seeing the wisdom, you're connecting the dots. In February, you're allowing yourself to dream about how can I help other people with what I have gone through, right? You could have felt very alone during your tower moment or during a lot of your healing process. You could have felt like you were alone. You didn't have anyone that could help you. You could have had a spiritual gift that came to light, but you didn't know how to use it or how to practice it or how to fine tune it. So it's almost as if you are now going to help other people that feel alone on their journey so that they don't feel alone, that they know that they have someone while they are awakening, because this is helping you to step into this beautiful energy in March. New soul tribe members, happy family, happy home, financial success. Look at this. It's really like the divine masculine, the divine feminine coming together that helps you to build this community of purpose, a community of celebration, a community of truly a happy family, happy home, whether that's in your actual home environment, in your community, or in the world, right? It's a new way of thinking. I think you're going in a new direction. Yeah, you're speaking your truth. You know that part of your journey is sharing your story. Sharing your story will help other people heal. Wow. And then you have the Strength card, Two of Cups, the Sun. I feel like for some of you, there is a new romantic connection coming in because there's something here in January. That's why you have to get grounded. Oh, I get it. You have to get grounded. You have a new connection coming in. Okay? You have a new connection. You're kind of in your doubts right now. Okay? You may be like, I don't see this coming at all, Mary Sue. Right? But this is kind of a message. This person is coming in. There's somebody new coming onto your path. If it's not a romantic connection, for those of you that are in a connection, then it could be a business partner or it could be a really good friend. But when this connection comes, you don't want to revert to what you were before, right? You've learned that lesson. You don't want to repeat that. And this is someone, okay, that is truly going to go the test of time. You know, you're the empress to their emperor. You have the Four of Wands twice. Could be twin flame. I'm not saying it is, but it could be, okay? But it is happy family, happy home, wedding celebration. It is the energy of knowing that you're coming in contact with your divine counterpart. So it's like, okay, I have to stay in this new energy. I can't get all up in my head and revert back to what I used to do. This is the new version. This is Aries 2.0, whatever. Because look at this. I do think this person does come in this year. You have the 8. okay? 2024, this stands for 2024. Having the courage in order to see this through, to Sun, right? Happy days ahead. True love, happy days. And it is this energy of it is brand new. This is not somebody returning from the past. This is a new person. This is a new person coming in onto your path, sharing your love and light because you are standing in your love and light. You've finished your healing journey. You're seeing the wisdom. You're seeing now how you can help other people and you're stepping into your purpose. And when you step into your purpose, Aries, that is when your divine counterpart comes in, because your divine counterpart comes in order to support you on your mission, or the two of you work together on a mission. Wow, beautiful energy. Wow, that is just amazing. All right, so let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And Aries, I do personal readings, so if this resonated with you, I would really love to be to do a reading for you. I actually have a 3-month up, so if this one resonated, you want a personalized version, I would be honored to do a reading for you. The link is in the description box below. All right, am I communicating my needs? Okay, so I feel like this is really important. In the past, okay, before Pluto moves into Aquarius, are you able to communicate your needs? Okay, are you able to communicate your needs in a romantic relationship? In any of your relationships, can you communicate your needs? And maybe part of this grounding is understanding what are your needs, what are your desires in a relationship, right? What is it that you would really like to experience that maybe you haven't experienced before? And being truthful, I haven't experienced this. This is what I really and truly would like to experience. Someone that I feel emotionally connected to, not just running around busy doing activities together, but somebody that I can truly connect to, look in the eye and kind of like know what they're thinking, right? Being on the same wavelength, knowing that they have your back and you have theirs. Okay, your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Yes. And that's the thing, right? We talked about that, you know, your fears, having the fears, here it is, letting go of the fears of the unknown, right? The fears of entering a romantic relationship if it's been a while, and wanting something that's balanced, wanting something that isn't just casual, but perhaps something that can go to long distance, right? The wedding card. Long-term committed relationship, however that may resonate for you and what it is that you want in your life. Wow. Okay, Aries, I'm so excited for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I really do appreciate all your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I wish you a very happy and blessed 2024, and I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.